What happens when the world's most populous nation and the world's manufacturing powerhouse shape the same century, sometimes side by side, sometimes head to head? Can a young, fast-growing India catch a still colossal China? Or are they running different races entirely? Hey, you're watching Globe Contrast, where we compare countries, geography, culture, and economies in clear, friendly English. So you can see the world smarter. If that sounds like your thing, hit subscribe and turn on the bell, so you never miss a deep dive. India stretches from the Thar Desert to the tropical coasts of Kerala, crowned by the Himalayas. China spans from the Gobi and Taklamakan deserts across the vast North China Plain to the Pacific coast. India is now the most populous country. China is second economically. China's total output is much larger, but India's recent growth has been faster. Both nations anchor Asia and influence everything from global supply chains to climate solutions. Geographically, both countries are giants, but they feel different. India's story is the monsoon, a dramatic wet-dry rhythm that waters the Ganges plain, fuels agriculture, and even sets festival calendars. China covers more climate zones, from subarctic winters in the northeast to tropical heat in Hainan. Droughts, snowstorms, and typhoons can all happen in the same season in different regions. Both share tectonic drama at the Himalayas. India's plate continues to push into Eurasia, which is why those mountains still rise. India's Deccan Plateau and long coastlines shape its climate and crops. China's Tibetan Plateau creates weather for half a continent and feeds Asia's great rivers. Similarities: glacier-fed rivers, long coastlines, and disaster risks, from floods to cyclones and typhoons. Differences: India is denser and more monsoon-dependent. China has vast arid interiors and more extreme winter variations in the north. Two ancient civilizations with deep philosophies and statecraft: Maurya and Gupta in India, Qin, Han, Tang, Song, Ming, and Qing in China. In the 20th century, India gained independence in 1947. The People's Republic of China formed in 1949. Relations swung from early warmth to rivalry, with a brief border war in 1962, and periodic tensions since, most recently along the line of actual control. Yet both also cooperate. They meet in forums like BRICS and the Shanghai Cooperation Organization. Trade between them has grown dramatically. The relationship, best described as competitive interdependence, security mistrust on the frontier, commercial ties in the marketplace, and cautious diplomacy. To manage both, China built the world's workshop: electronics, machinery, solar panels, batteries, and increasingly electric vehicles. Manufacturing still drives a big slice of its economy. While services have grown quickly, India is more services-led: IT, business services, finance, media, while expanding manufacturing in electronics, pharma, autos, and renewables through incentive programs. Similarities: both pour investment into infrastructure, ports, logistics, and green energy. Differences: China dominates complex manufacturing and export scale. India dominates English-speaking services and a vibrant startup scene, plus a vast domestic market that's getting more digital by the day. India is young. Its median age is in the late 20s, with a still rising share of working-age people and urbanization below half. China is older, around late 30s, with urbanization near 2/3, and a population starting to shrink. Similarities: huge internal migration and megacity challenges, housing, transit, and clean air. Differences: India's youth bulge can be a growth engine if jobs and skills keep up. China's silver wave pushes innovation in productivity, automation, and healthcare. Civilization depth shows up everywhere, from philosophy and religion to music, dance, and daily rituals. India is kaleidoscopically plural in languages and faiths. China, while diverse, is unified around Standard Mandarin and a centralized civic identity. Festivals, India's Diwali and Holi light up the year. China's Spring Festival and Mid-Autumn Festival center family, food, and folklore. Similarities, respect for family and education. Love of tea and arts that travel the world. Differences, linguistic diversity and religious landscape in India. vs. linguistic unification. And Confucian, Taoist traditions in China. Education is fiercely competitive in both countries. India's IITs and IIMs power global tech and management. China's top universities drive massive STEM pipelines. Innovation, China invests heavily in R&D and applied industrial research. Think hardware, batteries, and robotics. India dominates global services and software with a fast-moving startup ecosystem. And digital public infrastructure, similarities, exam intensity. Booming edtech and research parks. Differences, China's scale in hardware and manufacturing tech versus India's edge in software, IT services. And English language ecosystems. Both cuisines are vast and regional. India layers spices into vegetarian thalis, tandoori grills, and street food classics. China spans the 8 great cuisines, from Sichuan's mallar to Cantonese balance, with noodles and dumplings anchoring the north and rice the south. Tea culture is civilizational for both chai stalls and Darjeeling in India. Gongfu tea and Longjing in China. India mixes ancient heritage with sensory-rich travel. Taj Mahal sunrises, Rajasthan's forts, Kerala houseboats, the spiritual ghats of Varanasi, and wildlife safaris. China pairs iconic monuments with futuristic skylines, Great Wall ridgelines, the Forbidden City, Terracotta Army, Gillen's karst rivers, Zhangjiajie pillars, and the buzz of Shanghai's bund. Similarities, unforgettable contrasts of old and new, and rail networks that make long distances feel shorter every year. Life expectancy, healthcare access, and urban services vary widely within both countries, but broadly speaking, China saw earlier gains in basic healthcare and urban services. India is expanding access fast, especially through nationwide insurance, and big pushes in sanitation, digital IDs, and payments. Human development indicators have improved in both, though from different starting points. Safety, cost of living, and air quality also vary by city and season. Both face big urban planning questions: cleaner air, greener growth, cheaper housing, faster public transport. Rails, China runs the largest high-speed rail network. India operates one of the world's busiest railways and is modernizing fast. Space, India soft-landed near the moon's south pole. China returned lunar samples and built a space station. Languages, India recognizes dozens of major languages. China recognizes many ethnic groups, but unifies around Standard Mandarin. Cinema, India is a film superpower. China has one of the world's biggest box offices. Tea, both nations are tea icons, with legendary terroirs. Games, India popularized chess. China champions Go to different ways to think strategically. So, India and China, too. Continental civilizations shaping a shared future, similar in their scale, ambition, and rapid change, yet different in age structure, economic engines, and political systems. China leans on manufacturing scale and applied tech. India leans on services, entrepreneurship, and a very young workforce. How they cooperate and compete will influence everything from prices and jobs to climate and technology. If you had 1 month to explore just one, based on geography, food, culture, and tech, which would you pick first and why? Tell us in the comments. We read everyone. Thanks for watching Globe Contrast. If you enjoyed this comparison, please like, subscribe, and tap the bell so YouTube actually shows you our next video. Share this with a friend who loves geography and global stories. See you in the next one.